SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we got a big report at OpenSignal. We've been waiting for one of these. The other one we're waiting for is from RootMetrics. But let's take a look at this one. This is the Mobile Network Experience Report, dated January of 2024. Brand new, fresh off the press. And it's going to tell us how the carrier mobile networks are doing. And this, I think, in terms of the date collection period, is September 16th to December 14th, 2023. So it's the most recent data. Let's see how Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T are doing. Let's see who's doing networking the best, according to OpenSignal. All right, link for their report will be in the description. Ways to support the SMT YouTube channel can be found there as well. All right, so according to the latest findings from OpenSignal, which is crowdsourced in nature, right? They just collect a bunch of data points from users who have the downloaded app and all of those things. They take all those data points, they compile them, and create a report. All right, so this is unlike RootMetrics, which you have specific individuals who work for RootMetrics who do drives and collect data while they're out driving and going into, locations and stuff like that. So anyways, what we learned from the findings basically is that T-Mobile is still the fastest and most available 5G network in the country. No surprises here, all right? So T-Mobile users 2.5 times faster download speeds than AT&T peers, 3 times faster than those on Verizon. I see here that Verizon wins coverage experience outright. T-Mobile takes the spot for 5G coverage. All right, so looks like Verizon is still showing prowess in terms of overall coverage, but the 5G piece does go to T-Mobile. Verizon wins all 3 5G experiential awards. So they're talking about experience, which isn't necessarily speed. All right, so there's a difference there between those two things. AT&T retains the availability award. That means all networking, right? So that's LTE and 5G. T-Mobile surpasses the 200 megabit milestone for 5G download speed, while Verizon increases its lead for 5G upload speed. That's something that I've noticed myself in my market. The upload speed from Verizon, really, really impressive. T-Mobile wins consistent quality for a second consecutive time, which in previous years, that has been a weakness of T-Mobile. Having a consistent network seems to be improving for them. So I see a lot of good in this report for multiple carriers. I see strengths from all 3. Let's take a look at the, I guess we'll call it the visual here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make this a little bit larger for you guys. Well, or include more in the visual. All right, so Verizon is here in the bottom row. And then you have T-Mobile in the middle and then AT&T at the top. So you see AT&T really only has one category win, right? They've got the total availability and coverage of the networking, right? That includes all network types. T-Mobile had a really strong showing here, right? They've got overall experience. They won every category. So that's video experience, live video experience, gaming experience, download speeds, upload speeds, overall networking, right? They took the 5G download speed. They took 5G coverage expansion, 5G availability, and they took consistency. Verizon only took 4 out of the 5 5G experiences, which is interesting. I think the reason I find that interesting is because, T-Mobile has that 5G claim for the last several years, most 5G, fastest 5G, and all those things, but they only took 1 5G category. I find that kind of interesting. And then Verizon did take a coverage experience award. So you have basically the testing dominated by T-Mobile. You've got Verizon in play for a lot of the 5G experiences, and then AT&T still kind of showing, they don't really win a lot of these awards for networking. I do think their network is pretty good. It's really good in Ohio, and nationally it's pretty modern. I don't know, but just when it comes to these awards and when it comes to these reports, they can't really beat out T-Mobile for much, and they can't really beat out Verizon for much. And RootMetrics is very similar in this respect. They do win a little bit more in Root Awards, especially in state scoring. But I think this is kind of interesting. Here's the granularized scores here. Probably worth some delving into. I'll probably do that in some other content. All right, so here's your video experience scores out of 100, and some other stuff. We'll look at these at a later time. So you'll definitely see some more content on this. But my takeaway here is that when I look at the speed gaps, those are starting to close. We're seeing Verizon getting faster. We're seeing AT&T getting faster as they build out more of their C-band spectrum. T-Mobile's 5G speed lead seems to matter a little bit less as their competitors get faster. And you can also see with respect to upload speeds, Verizon showing some prowess there. I think part of that is, the tower grid being closer to tower sites because they have a denser network in a lot of markets. I think also the dedication to CRAN and small cells helps them with respect to that metric. You see that T-Mobile is still the fastest when it comes to 5G. That lead, that jump that they had because of the merger with Sprint, they simply just have more spectrum on air. T-Mobile has already said they want to have 200 megahertz of mid-band, like N41 5G UC, plus they're starting to move spectrum from LTE over to 5G. That makes an impact too with 5G download speeds, right? They'll continue to push those speeds a little bit further in the next round of testing. So I would expect to see T-Mobile actually improve their speeds a little bit as they upgrade more, add more sites, densify, improve coverage, right? And then also move more spectrum over to 5G from LTE. But I also expect Verizon to make a huge leap this year because more C-band on more sites. And in some places where they haven't built C-band yet, they have 200 megahertz of C-band. And they're going to start moving spectrum from LTE to 5G, I think, this year. I don't know how much of it. I don't know if it's going to be substantial, but I do expect it. And I know for a fact that AT&T is starting to move spectrum from LTE to 5G NR as well. So we're going to see 5G download speeds, 5G speeds in general, and availability all increasing in 2024. It's going to be a big year for AT&T and Verizon. T-Mobile, I think, is going to be focused more on trying to meet the demands of a growing user base and also the fact that they sell a lot of 5G home internet to customers. So they're going to have to keep pace with all the capacity that they need for their customers. And the way that we measure capacity that's available is with speed. So these reports matter. Next up, we're expecting to see the reports from RootMetrics. We'll see who takes the cake in those testings, and we'll report it back here on the channel. Anyways, tell me what you guys think of the report. Tell me what you think of the findings. Any surprises? Anything that you found interesting? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.